Welcome everybody to the show. You don't know. It's Wednesday. It's just after 7. So you know what that means. It's time for the Vupointz. It's the meeting of the minds. And you know what we say? We say knowledge is power. So I want to shout out everybody tuning in early. I want you guys to stop quick, and I want you guys to take a second to like and to subscribe to Vupointz on all channels, on all networks. I also want to shout out everybody that's been following the whole Vupointz movement from since we've started this. We are on episode, I think this is episode 13, lucky number 13. So I want to shout out all the viewers, and again, I want to shout out everybody that's tuning in. Remember to like, remember to subscribe. We are here to empower a generation of people. We are here to provide knowledge. We are here to entertain the people as well. Now, hold on. I want to know how I sound. If you're tuning in, let me know how it sounds. I want to make sure I sound good. I want to make sure the levels are not too loud. Let me switch up this headset one time. People, today's topic is all about inspiration through artistry. Take a look, take a look, take a look. Inspiration through artistry. Now, we have a special guest in the place today, waiting in the lobby. We're going to bring him on shortly. But everybody, this is the Vupointz. We're also going to be talking about the Black Business Directory. So again, everybody, if you're tuning in, remember to like, remember to subscribe to Vupointz on all networks. Right now, we're just making sure the audio is good, making sure that we can hear what's going on. Right, the audio looks good, the video looks good, and let's keep it rolling. Again, people, this is the Vupointz show. We are here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Now, if you were with us last week, we had the privilege of going to Cardinal's Free the City concert. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if for some reason you were living under a rock and you don't know what I'm talking about, Cardinal Official, Universal Music's brand new A&R, has put on a free concert for the city. Now, this featured artists like Blessed, artists like Mishi Me, Road Dollar, The Rascals, to name a few. It was a great event. Lindo P, so much more. We were there from early. We had the media pass, we had the VIP pass. We pulled up. It was a drive-in event. People, the event was great. It was packed to capacity. Now, if you missed it, you can go to the Vupointz YouTube page and you can check out the footage. Because like I said, we had the privilege of getting the media pass, and we streamed live, but we were also able to rebroadcast and put it on YouTube. So if you missed the live show, make sure you go check it out. Now, people, I don't want to stray too long, and I don't want to talk too much. There's so much to talk about. We have a special guest in the lobby, but we can't go too further without talking about the main topic. Not the main topic, the main segment. It's all about fine-tune your biz. You know what it is? My name is Ja Wiggs. So every week I like to punch in and I like to answer some questions or give some feedback or some motivation based on, something that a customer may have asked me or a client may have requested to talk about over the past week. Now, let me just also shout out Kaya Publishing. I see tuning in. People, you can look out for the Toronto Urban Book Fair. Check out the TUB Expo on Instagram for more information, or you could contact Kaya Publishing. There's a lot of great information. Kaya, we want to bring you on the show in the next couple weeks as well. So we're going to link you off the air and talk about that. But again, people, back to the fine tune your business. Somebody said to me the other day, Wiggums, the customer's always right. And I kind of chuckled, and my response was, the customer is not always right, but I'll hear what you have to say though, right? Because you always got to remember, when you're in business, you're dealing with customers. A customer may not always be happy with the product or service that they receive, but you also got to remember, some people are just complainers. Some people complain about everything, and some people are just looking for that free dollar, the free meal, or the free service, right? So again, when I say customer's not always right, but I'll hear what you got to say, I mean that with the utmost respect, and you also got to know how to deal with customers. So when a customer calls with a complaint, you got to find out what they need. You got to find out what their issue is. And if they do have a legitimate complaint and you have the ability to correct it, the best thing to do is to correct it. Even sometimes, let me just fix my shades here. Even sometimes when you believe you may not be in the wrong, it may be beneficial to your business just to recompensate, to provide the service, or to correct the wrong. Because the last thing that you may need is that customer, that $15 issue spreading out online. They're going online complaining to different people. Your business now has bad ratings on social media, all because you did not want to address a $15 matter. People, again, the customer is not always right, but you do have to take your time to hear what they have to say. Reasonable requests, always respond to. Anything that's above your level, again, take time, hear what they have to say, and we'll talk more about that. I don't want to stray too long on the fine tune your biz, because again, people, you know what it is, and any questions you have, we can talk about off the air. Now, I want to bring on the special guest. I want to bring on the special guest because me and him have been speaking over the past year about different projects, some things he has been going on. Every couple months he shoots me an email, let me know what he has going on, keeping me updated. And I said to myself, I'm doing this Vupointz show. I sent out a broadcast. He linked me. So I said, you know what? It's time. It's time to put this out to the massive. And it's time for Osa Jeffo to let the people know what's his going on. I have this platform. I said, let's do what we got to do and share it to the masses. So I'm going to bring him on right now. This is Osa Jeffo. Osa, you there? Osa, you're on mute. Can you hear me? Can you hear me there? Osa, can you hear me? You're on mute. One second, people. We're just making sure the audio is good here.
Everything blessed?
Perfect. We can hear you good now. All right, Osa, so what's going on, brother?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
You're not hearing me?
Can't hear anything you're saying.
Kaya, can you hear me? One second. Let me just make sure the audio is good here, people.
Is it not on?
If you're tuning in, let me know if you guys can hear me. Also, I can hear you good, and I could see you clear.
Imagine everything's Chris now, man.
You can hear me? tell you about this technology thing, you know.
The technology court, all kind of technology, man. Yo, I have to deal with them thing, you know.
Yo, I tell everybody, this technology, it's great until it stops working.
That's what it is.
And then it's like, oh my gosh. Brother, I've been in. I'm a DJ as well, right? So the worst is when you're I'm in a dance DJing on these new fancy laptop.
Right.
but somebody unplug the charger and you never know. Boom! In the middle of your round, boom! Laptop dead, music stop.
Sound done, you know? Oh my
Sound
gosh.
done. Back in the days, that wouldn't happen. You just pick up a next record and drop it till you're good.
That time, boom! You don't play. You know what I mean?
But yes, Osa. So what's going on, brother?
Everything bless you. Thanks for having us here at the Viewpoints, you know, meeting of the minds, much appreciated on a higher level, you know?
No problem, people. So if you're just tuning in, this is the Viewpoint Show, meeting of the minds. We say knowledge is power. So we like to bring on guests every week, and talk general talk about what they've got going on, talk about what's going on in the community, in society, in the Black community, and just keep the vibe going. So right now we have Osa Jeffo on the line. He is the owner and the CEO of Creative Interlude. Now, Osa Jeffo, let them know who you are, let them know about Creative Interlude, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, man. Named Osa Jeffo. Run a beautiful, powerful company with my business partner and wife, Karisha Walker. Artist, genius, brilliant, brilliance upon brilliance. So generally what we do is we run a lot of powerful, inspirational things, from community-based programming to fashion arts, visual arts, literature. The big thing right now is the children's books. Big up to the children, them. And every day we're just on the grind trying to empower businesses, from websites to generally empowering their distribution, printing, anything people need. Creative Interlude is that place to get it and get it done on a creative level, you know?
All right, perfect. Now, how long have you guys been doing what you're doing?
Long, you know. First we start off like 15, 20 years. First we start off in the fashion. My wife's big on fashion and stuff like that. So fashion show I'm going with. We just did a lot of fashion shows and stuff like that. Then she was in the art, the visual artist extraordinaire. So she did a lot of creative handcrafted pieces, a lot of art exhibits and stuff like that. We're just trying to always forge forward and build in new industries here in Toronto. So we realize like the fashion vibe is all right, the visual arts vibe is all right with the exhibits, but then we move to the literature. Right now, our major push right now is to open up a whole literature vibe in Toronto where people are buying Black books, buying African Caribbean books that are empowering the community and empowering the children, you know?
Well, on that note, there's so much things that you do that I want to touch on. So I'm gonna take this step by step here, because you brought up so much good things. Now, you brought up the first time we had the pleasure of meeting, I believe, was either last year or the year before at one of the festivals or markets that we were doing, and you had a bunch of books. Now, I came over there and I was amazed at all the books, the colors, and the content. Now, I know we have Kaya Publishing that's watching as well, and I don't know if you know who she is, but she's someone that you guys should link with as well, because she's into publishing a lot of Black content, and she deals with a lot of creatives as well. So maybe after the show, I'll send you guys connections, and you guys could make a link. She also has a book expo that she's doing. Oh, you know who she is?
No, Virgin. No, Windsor, man. We grew up.
Okay.
Not university together, yo. Like, that's where the seeds were planted back in them university days. You know what I'm saying? So up the stage Robinson every time.
Yo, Osa, you know what's crazy then? Because you see, when the other day when you said you want to come on, I was gonna actually link Stacy to bring her on the show as well. But I didn't want to do it last minute, and she has her book expo in a couple weeks. So, but when I bring her on, maybe I'll bring you back on as well.
July 29th. Make sure you're there, people. Make sure you're there. July 28th, 29th. Lock it off. Lock off your schedule and be there one time.
People, you heard it from Osa. You didn't even have to hear it from me, because if I told you, then you would say it's only because I designed this stuff. But when you hear it from Osa, then you know it's certified. So people, the TU Book Expo, Toronto Urban Book Expo, make sure you're there. You're gonna hear more about it on the Viewpoint, so stay posted. Osa, now you also mentioned the fashion. Now, a couple weeks ago when I was browsing your site, again, you have so much beautiful content on there. One of the things I actually did notice was the fashion and the clothing and the dressing and the accessories. And I said to myself, I can't believe he never mentioned this before. So are those the designs and the fashion that your wife is taking care of?
definitely taken care of. We actually have a t-shirt line we're dropping in the next week or so, you know what I'm saying? So definitely more works. Like she works in a creative way of crochet, and that line is called woven artistry, where you realize like the African woman is in my opinion, the most beautiful woman on the planet, and creates crafted and form work that just take that sophistication to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, go check it out, creativeinterlude.ca. I think it's on the create page. Some powerful creative pieces just to inspire the family and inspire the women, you know?
Yeah, man, there's some nice content on there. I'll definitely have to say that. So let me ask you guys, so what inspires you guys to help inspire others through creative arts?
I just think it's a calling, bro. Like when I get up in the morning and the sun beam upon me, I'm like, yo, let's inspire some people. You know what I'm saying? Let's unite the people. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, for me, it's that energy. This comes, and again, the creativity just flows out of my wife. She can walk and she look creative when she walks. She can talk and she looks creative when she talks. So I think that inspiration and us constantly complimenting and bouncing off each other is definitely where that energy and that compliment and that creativity and inspiration comes from.
So where did you guys, and maybe I'm getting a little personal now,
yeah, brother, no.
but you both being so deep into the creative arts, is this something that you guys have always been in, like before you guys met, and maybe that helped your connection, or is this something you guys built together after you guys connected?
I think that's what really elevated my inspiration to be attracted to her, because I'm like, yo, I never seen someone so different before, you know what I'm saying? So authentic and real and original, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, as African people, we're like the most creative people, in my opinion, on the planet, you know what I'm saying? So when I seen this woman, I'm like, she different, man. She have a style to her, you know? I'm like, go on with it.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, what? So
all right, so
again, the power is there, man. The power and the greatness is there, you know?
All right, so we talked about the clothing a little bit. Now, in terms of arts, what other arts do you do? Do you do any painting, drawings, things like that as well?
Yeah, man. We had an art show we were doing maybe about 3-4 years ago called The Spirit of the Sun, kind of talking to the awakening of our higher energy and consciousness, kind of preceding these times. You know what I'm saying? And again, it was like an ode to the sun, how it brings harmony to us, brilliance to us, grace to us. You know what I'm saying? We had like did a couple of shows. We did like 8 shows in Toronto across the GTA and stuff like that.
Right,
You know?
well, congrats on that.
From Brampton all the way to Durham and stuff. Yeah, man, respect.
So what was it called again? What was the name of the
Spirit of the Sun?
All right. So with that being said, right, the past 18 months, right, the main thing people have been lacking is vitamin D, right?
True.
So what's your take on that? Like, what's your take on the fact that people have been lacking the sun? How do people get by that? How do people regain their energy? How do people, you know, get positive with no sun, with no spirit of the sun?
Yeah, well, I think again, like, we got to get outside. Like, we're net beings, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's important that, again, like, this time has been very challenging, but it's also opened up a chance for us to be more present. You know what I'm saying? You've been sitting on the couch, challenge yourself, like, go for that run, you know what I'm saying? Or just go sit outside on the grass, draw a little blanket and stuff and just catch a vibe, you know what I'm saying? Or like you guys are up in Sable Beach last week or whatever, go out into the sunshine and be one with your people, you know what I'm saying? However that can happen and manifest. Like, just the sunshine is shining on us. The craziest thing, it was actually summer for 2 days and they're calling heat wave and all kind of madness. I was like, what's wrong with these people?
when summer never even touched yet for us. You know?
I'm like, it's not hot enough yet. You know, the heat wave I reach. I'm like, yo.
It's crazy. So with the fact that everybody was inside for the pandemic, how has that, like, how has that affected your business, or did it affect your business? And how have you been able to proceed from that?
Okay, definitely. So in terms of this present environment, it's definitely impacted us. They closed the border, which locked up our shipping for a minute. Again, we were about to go on tour actually down to the D. Like weeks before, we're like, are we going to go across the D? Can we get back if we go to the D? You know what I'm saying? And the madness that's happening over there, you never know if they're going to lock off a border. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's just like, you might as well just stay safe.
You know what I'm saying? But what it has allowed us a chance to be inspired and do a lot of writing, a lot of creativity, a lot of building with the children. You know what I'm saying? Again, like, allowed me to be present. I'm here. I'm physically in space. And now my children are able to see the work I do, and I'm able to see them stay under P's and Q's, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Exactly. So, you know, again, it just brings the family unit a little tighter together by any
Yeah.
means necessary, right?
Yeah, and then things have to sort out. You have to iron them out one time. It's not easy
One
being in that
time.
same space. We have to iron it out one time.
Exactly. I like that. I like that. So how much kids do you have?
We have 2 children right now, a boy and a girl. Daughter's 11. Son is 6, and full
All
of
right.
energy. Like this, I think the hardest pandemic has been for this man because he want to do capoeira, and want to do cartwheel, and want to play baseball. I'm like, bro, you can't be doing them things in
But
here.
it's so true because I have a 18-year-old, 11-year-old, and a 4-year-old. So
Bless.
I already know the 4-year-old, same type of energy. Him I go jump from the one side of the couch to the next, run across the thing and fly this, that.
You know?
But it's like, all right, get the energy, go run outside. You know, you can't vex.
You can't vex. You can't vex. I was the same way.
so what would you say has been the toughest part about the pandemic?
Toughest part about the pandemic really is the media and what they're putting out there on the people's brain. 1, 2, some even how the families responding. Like some families are like, oh, you can't come over because of this and that. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes you're just looking at like, yo, like we're all family, we're all love. Let us find a way to hug and embrace and still connect and not be so worry, fear. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's been the biggest challenge. But I mean, like overall, in my mind, all things are temporary. We're gonna overcome this. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna overcome it.
Exactly.
We'll overcome
it. And like you said, it's all on the decisions that you make as well. Because as much as like we know there's people that, and I'm gonna use these words, have chosen to not see their family over the past year.
Right.
And I see I will go. I've seen my family every day, and I haven't stopped. Right. So what's their excuse 18 months later?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And not like you. They just didn't want to see it.
No, but exactly. You know what I mean? But you just gotta push on and keep on going. So let me ask you another question. So the name Creative Interlude, how did you guys come up with that name?
Well, Creative Interlude on a spiritual level, Ka means spirit, Re means sun, Active means activation, and Interlude. So basically we're trying to have a spiritual connection to the sun where you activate your interlude on a daily basis, your daily grind. You know what I'm saying? On a personal note, my wife's name is Kari, and she's a creative person. So we just merged the two together to realize like allow your spirit to create, you know, and it allows you to flow on a daily.
I like how it works with the different meanings. It works with her name, but it also has the triple intention with the 3 pieces. So I love that, and I love how it just connects.
Even our logo is 3 eyes, is 3 faces, and one is intuition, imagination, and intelligence, right? So one's winking at you, one's eyes closed, and the other one's wide open. You know what I'm saying? So you can really embrace that depth of creativity that lies within your being.
In all aspects of creativity, exactly. I love that. So I know you have another venture that you're involved in as well, called Malcolm's Choice. Now, if you could let the viewers know about Malcolm's Choice, how long that's been in fruition, and you know what you guys have going on there.
Definitely. So with the pivot in the last year, I was home and I was like, you know what? I'm sitting on a situation where I'm not saying I'm solid, but I'm good. And I was like, I couldn't see other community members struggling. When I'm hearing different people saying I'm going through this, I'm going through that, I'm like, how can I be a good example to my children, but also to my community? So I strategically partnered with Malcolm's Choice as a publisher to produce a document called the Malcolm's Choice Business Directory. If you don't have one, you can pick one up at your local stores. If not, send your information in the chat and I'll text it to your phone one time. The whole purpose is a lot of Black companies are amazing. They have a skill to do what they do, but either they lack knowledge, marketing, or administration. You know what I'm saying? So we thought like, oh, okay, let's create a platform where we can cover the marketing and the administration and people can get the knowledge on the journey. You know what I'm saying? Or even better still, you can get the knowledge from networking within that network. You know what I'm saying? Where you have 250 strong, brilliant business-minded people. We're not able to say, yo, like, hey, let me go talk to this person over here at Up North Naturals. Let me go talk to this person over here at Real Natural. You know what I'm saying? To see what's really going on. Knowledge Bookstore, Now Valley. Like there's tons of gem talent here in Toronto. You know what I'm saying? Across the GTA. So this gave us a chance to say, look, this is the greatest in our greatness. Even though we have this temporary challenge, we can unite and do something powerful.
Yep, and what I would also have to say is a lot of people are over the past year. A lot of people are doing what you're doing. Like again, taking the time to do things that are progressive, not just for themselves, but for the community, helping other businesses and things like that. And again, you've reached out to me a number of times, so I just want to shout you out as well and give you your flowers and respect for that as well, because again, you've reached out a number of times in regards to many projects that you've had. So big up yourself on that as well. Now. So again, it's summertime. The place is opening back up.
Yeah.
Things are going on. Like what do you got going on for the summer? Any family events? You guys planning on going away? How you guys staying active for the summer?
I said going away, man. I'm trying to go to JA, man, but I don't know. Every time I read the news on these things these guys are on, I'm like, what? If we go do that and this just to go see my granny? Like, come on.
Well, that's the thing. They're saying you gotta take a test before you go. Then you got to take a test as you reach the airport. Then a next test 3 days later. Yeah. And then it's the same thing when you come back or something now.
And I just want to see my granny, Virgin, and eat a breadfruit. How you mean?
It's crazy, but I guess that's their whole point. I guess to make it as hassle as much of a hassle as possible. Yeah. To stop the people from traveling or whatever.
Yeah, but the main thing is while I'm here, like we've been waiting patiently to see what's next, and we thought things were gonna go back to our normal, but we just gotta step on this new normal. Right now we're doing a book launch where we're launching off some amazing talent here in the GTA. July 22nd to September 16th. We're going to be doing some live virtual book launches for some major hitters here in Toronto. Starting on July 22nd, Carisha Walker. August 5th, we have Ryan Knight and Susan Snaggs Wilson. They're bringing some hot ones on financial literacy. August 19th, we have that comedic energy and comedic science from Usher Lenny, Usher Boogie. September 2nd, we have Christina and Anna, just focusing on like the true traditional cultural books on phonics and books on our cultural Caribbean greatness. And then the cleanup hitters are Hezi and Mocha, and they're bringing that importance of you can be and realizing the greatness and creativity that lies within you. So just going to be launching some books. I'm trying to connect with more projects and keep building our business up. And
so these are new books that are going to be launching on those days.
Yeah, the book launching on them days. Yeah, they've been out. This is a very powerful one. You Can Be by Hezi. This is over there.
So I know Ryan Knight. Me and him have enough stuff going on. So he he has a book too?
Yeah, the book too. Yeah, him and his daughter collaborated. This is Anna, Adventures in Alphabet Land. He created a book called Jazz and Dad Start a Lemonade Stand. It's a very powerful one focusing on business. So if you have a young child, you want them to get the key cusp of the mathematics and the concepts. It's done in a very subtle way, but it helps you realize like, hey, while you're in this pandemic, start a business. You know what I'm saying? Incorporate, like see what other new ways you can pivot your life. Like I have a sister right now, Felicia Jolly, big her up. ABC is a wealth. ABC is the power. ABC is a success. Talking around like economic family plan. How do we as a family look at our economics and create a plan to achieve that on a daily basis? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, sit down with your children. Yo, let's start a business. What do you want to be when you grow up? Like, let's manifest that.
I like that.
Yeah.
So right, because you just pulled up about like 5 different books from 5 different local people. So
yeah, I can pull up some more too.
So what if there's for the parent or the student that might be watching and they're saying to them, well, I've always wanted to do a creative book or a child's book. Like, right. What is the process for that like?
So love like that. This work with a group. Lions Club has a Leo's group. I just came off the call from 5:30 to 6:30 working with some young people. All in Jamaica, Bridget. The girl's like, yes, sir. Excuse me, sir. Proper manners. And
polite. You know them polite.
Manners. You know? So again, like we basically run a program called New Narrative Literacy Empowerment Program, where we take you from step A to Z, how to make a book. We also talk around the economics of how to sell it. The way we get it, we get them little small mini books. I have a mini book here. One sec. Sorry. Yeah, we have little mini books like this. Created by a child. They wrote and illustrated their own book, young entrepreneurs, young authors. I Know All. This one made by a 6-year-old called The Airship. Javel Seeley, big up Miss Seeley every time. Like, again, a lot of talent is in the GTA, so we just want to craft it. The New Narrative program actually started because we're like seeing these communities. I'm like, they had no access to a library. In my house was full up of books. And I'm like, how can a child not have access to a library down the road? I'm like, guys, we're making our own library. We're making our own library. We're making our own library.
Because because you can imagine without access to a library and books, you can imagine like what they're missing, like
Right.
just plain and simple,
Straight.
the access to the knowledge.
That's it. Because like you said, knowledge is power. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like that's what it is. So again, the new narrative allows the children to illustrate their own books, write their own books, and again, we do it at a cost-effective level. That community can now realize the power of their words, the power of their voice, and the power of their vision.
So what's the youngest publisher you've?
This guy is 6 years old, man. If Javel can do it, the man not even a focus the whole time. The Airship. Boom. What was that? We live on planet Earth. You better believe that. You understand? We jumped in an airship. 1 or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We went to Jupiter. Look about the man's Jupiter. You know what I'm saying? We're having the children think intergalactically. Think about the universe you're in. You know what I'm saying? We saw God because he is everywhere. God thanked us for visiting him. Blessings.
And you know what's great too? And he will come soon to Earth. Because again, so even another child seeing this book or having this book and reading this book, that alone may inspire them to be like, oh, I can do this. You know what I mean? So that's what we're talking about when we talk about inspiration.
All big people. Big people like, I write that book.
You know, but that's me right now. I'm looking at them things saying to myself, but hold on. I can write a little Empro graphics book one time.
Brother, you're on the next level. You're on that level, man, for sure.
just to have and say I published a book, just to add book author and publisher to my title.
On the chest one time.
So also tell me what else is going on, man. What else you have going on?
Everything else going on right now, we're just trying to take this Malcolm's Choice to the next level, take Creative Interlude to the next level. Our vision right now, we're trying to even connect with some local artists to illustrate the next set. So if there's any talented artists out there that want to be illustrators, definitely reach out. Community at creativeinterlude.ca. Next level, we're also trying to get into animation. We're just dibbling and dabbling a bit, but we realize our children are on the screen heavy. You understand? So now we're trying to get to the point where we're able to match what's out there to inspire them with positive quality cartoons to help them to realize, like, you know what?
Okay. Yeah. Because you want to have, like you said, you want to stay to the trend. So because they're on screen all the time, if you could get some content. Yeah, that's
don't fight it. Don't fight it. They're there. You know what I'm saying? And again, like you have the book that's there, and you can also transition to the screen one time so them to realize, like, yo, this is a bigger dream and possibility. I started writing a book, and I could take it to the silver screen, or my cellular screen. Everything's blessed.
Well, sorry. Well, and just like you said, that's true because. Like my kids as well, they're very creative. They like to draw and things like that. And they're also always watching these things on YouTube. So we always we're always there monitoring what they're watching. But if there's actual content, local content provided by people that we know, you know what I mean? These are the things that we need that we don't have to worry about, that, you know, some random link that they're clicking, or if we have access to content for these youths, positive content, it will be better for everybody.
Better for everybody and better for the next generation.
Exactly. So how have you found the adults reacting to the books and things like that? When adults see the children putting these books, are you getting a lot of adults that are saying, well, hey, can you help me do this? And can you help me write a book?
Definitely. Again, like one of our partners, Usher Lenny, Usher Boogie, we're going to partner up and going to create that facility to allow adults who want to write books to walk them through the A to Z, how to write a book, how to publish a book, how to get the finance to make it happen. And again, we're trying to drop that probably by, if not mid-August, definitely before September rolls around and stuff like that. So keep posted on creativeinterlude.ca. We're definitely going to send that out. Again, if you're not connected with us, connect with us at info@creativeinterlude.ca or hit me up at 416-724-1328. Stay blessed.
All right. So I want to ask another question. I'm going to swing it a little differently, right? Now, when it comes to school and things like that, because a lot of your books deal with the youth and a lot of like inspiration and towards our culture, have you guys dabbled into the school market, trying to get your books into the schools, into the curriculum? If you have, How has that journey been going? Has it been successful, hard? Talk to me.
Definitely. So that journey has been going on for the past 5 years. Initially, I won't mention the school board. We tried to get with the school board for the past 5 years. We recently just became a partner to one, but the overarching challenge is nobody's calling us in to come and do the works. When we go to them and say, hey, we're your partner, we have all these books that can help fill up your reading bins and stuff like that. They're trying to pretend like we don't even exist. You understand? So that's a bit of a disillusionment on their part. But I know for me, it's not even here that I love. I love the States. You understand? And again, a prophet's never always loved in their own home. Like when I go to Washington, but it's on a call with Brother Browder down there. 95% African American, African Caribbean Black. You know what I'm saying? So when I try to shoot now, I'm trying to shoot to hit. I'm trying to shoot to win. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
Here sometimes, I love my home. And I know there's a greatness here, but they're trying to keep it on pause here, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? So it's not going to stop us. Like right now, we're on an e-blast system with these guys. We're on a phone call system with them right now to hold up every possible principal, every possible trustee to know, hey, look, you guys know these books exist. What's wrong with a child loving themselves, knowing themselves, having financial literacy in their back pocket, personal empowerment when they step into the classroom? I'm not saying they're not getting it at home, but it's a trifecta. When the books say what the parents are saying and the teacher's saying the same thing, it line up.
Exactly.
And that's what we're trying to accomplish with the different school boards. So to date, we achieved partnership for our new narrative literacy empowerment program. If there's anybody in certain school boards, teachers out there listening, feel free to reach out to us. We're ready for September. We have virtual formats for it on 2 different platforms that you can just purchase, download, one-time use, empower your children, and we keep it moving forward. We also do in-class sessions as well, right? So, we come into the classroom, do book readings, inspire them on them kind of vibes for 45 minutes. And that's another way that we're connecting with the school boards. Right now, our push also is with the libraries because the libraries are there as well. And people think libraries are closed, but they're buying books on a regular basis. So we're trying to connect books all across North America.
And what I love about what you're doing as well, and the way you guys are doing it, it doesn't have to be local or national. It's the creative arts and spreading knowledge and creative books can reach worldwide. So as long as you have somebody that this content resonates with, then that's all that matters. So there, like you said, there's Black people in Washington, there's Black people in Jamaica, Trinidad, New York, England, every part of the world. So as far as you can send that email, or as far as you can send that email, or they can log into that website.
Right.
And then again, like you said, as soon as you start adding that animation to it, then that's gonna bring a whole nother level, a whole nother aspect to the thing.
That's the vision right now, brother. That's the vision. Yeah.
So you said you do a lot of in school readings and stuff as well, right? Mm-hmm. Now with that stopped, with that not happening because of the whole pandemic and everybody's online schooling, have you been working with any of the schools online, like coming in and doing little segments or reading sessions online?
Not as we anticipated, no. So what we do a lot of times, I do a lot of speaking engagements at universities or local organizations and stuff like that. But the bread and butter that's kept us going strong right now is the U.S. library system. They've been showing us a lot of love. And again, at the end of the day, they know what's at stake. Like the same literary buying culture that they have in the U.S., I want to see it amplified here in Canada. Because I think it's definitely there. It's just for us to believe in our own voice and our own vision. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with us telling each other that we love each other, we appreciate each other, we know the power in us, we know the economic value that we each carry, we know the higher sense of self that we hold on to on a daily, and every child's picking that up.
So now, is there a reason why you think you may get a better or quicker response in the U.S. market? Is it just because of volume, or is it a cultural thing?
I think it's a cultural thing. I think when it started back 1960s, when our parents came here, there's that tent mentality that we're not staying. We've been here. We ain't going nowhere. We've been here. We ain't going nowhere. So now it's getting to the point where people are in Canada and they're like, oh, I want to be the first one. Who are you? What's your credentials to do that? What make you think, say, bad man better than me? But you know what I'm saying? So you're caught up in that kind of dynamic where people are like not even going to validate and legitimate the quality work you're doing. Like I remember we do presentations where you're like, where you been? And again, I always go back to Mos Def. Mos Def has a killer line on one of his albums. I think it's Black on Both Sides. And the lady's coming from FEMA. FEMA comes. And then the lady's coming through the swamps of Louisiana. The water is there. And the man's like, where you been? Where you been? She's like, where I been? Where you been? You know what I'm saying? So school boards that are out there, trustees that are out there, teachers that are out there, we've been here. We love the children. We love community. We love the power of words.
That's so crazy.
You know, and what it can do to inspire others.
So, but I guess what you're saying and the way you're saying it makes sense, because in the States, I mean, one would think that the States people are less Caribbean cultured, but I guess because they're more rooted in the U.S., they would be more acceptable to those type of books and knowledge. That,
but also the important line they have is freedom of expression. You know what I'm saying? Here we're very conservative in terms of the freedom of expression. They're like, that's something that resonates with them, one. And two, the importance of economics. And they realize, like, when your mindset is consciously thinking about your community, as simple as a book. A book is the smallest investment you can make in your community. You know what I'm saying? Now you can get to that point where you're thinking on a larger level, like real estate and business.
Yeah,
and
it's the smallest investment, but it's one of the most powerful. Like you're correct.
Those are facts, brother.
Because I was watching, it's crazy. I was watching one of these. I was watching over the past couple months. I've been watching a lot of these TV shows on movies and stuff on Netflix, right? And a lot of them that are dealing with the future, like it was. You know, they burned the books at a point in time. They burned all the books, and oh my God, you have a book? Like they're out to get you. Like you're like a runaway from the law now. And like, oh my God, you have these books? Like, what are those? So like, it's, you know, you got to think about that. You know what I mean? Like in these future movies, they don't want people to have books. They don't want people to have knowledge. Why?
Look,
you know what I mean?
Look at her pushing us hard to the screen. And again, the first book we wrote, this is why books are important.
The belief.
They help you to believe. They help you to believe in yourself. You understand? No matter what, that word and the science behind those letters and characters, they do something to our brain and something to our eyes that no other technology on the planet has done. They help us to believe deep within ourselves on so many levels, spiritually, culturally, personally, socially, academically. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, the power of words is what is allowing us to fly, and the power of words is what's going to always help us to set us free, you know?
Yes. So let me ask you now, have you personally always been a spiritual person and creative person, or was there something along your life, or was there something that transitions you to your current state of mind, I would say?
I think I've always been this way, you know, brother. I don't even know. Like, my wife has definitely helped to amplify it and elevate it to another level. But I think, like, I've always been on this path. I just never realized till you look back. You know, almost like it's a hindsight 2020 kind of thing. You look back,
that's what they say. That's what they say.
Oh, all right. You're on this journey, on this leg. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, it's always kind of been that way from my previous careers to where I am as a father to how we raise our children. Like, all those things have been present. You know what I'm saying? So we just give thanks.
All right, so let me. We had a couple weeks ago. We had a health and nutritionist expert on the line, right? So let me ask you a question, because I know you and your wife are both creative and you're both into the arts, right? Do you cook at all? Are you a healthy person?
I'm a pretty good cook. I'm not on the level that my wife is, but I can throw down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? When the time is due. Yeah, yesterday I made dinner. You guys ate the dinner, right? Everybody's alive. It can eat. It can eat. Yeah, man.
So what would the kids say? What would the kids say is daddy's the best thing daddy could cook?
The best thing I can cook is?
The best thing that daddy can cook is well, the burger and fries.
That burger, that's his favorite.
Daddy cooks
jackfruit.
Yeah, daddy cooks stuff in the oven.
Yeah, broccoli, jackfruit, holding that down. Cauliflower, we're gonna set that up proper. You know what I'm saying? Elevated.
Can be this.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, if I ask my son, he'll tell me something like chicken nuggets and fries or something like that.
Them kind of the things they love, you know what I'm saying? But wicked on the soups. Like the soups, I got that. Like callaloo soup, butternut squash soup, peanut soup. Yeah, man, I can hold that down every time.
Yeah, my youth him love the junk, but my daughter, my 11-year-old,
Mm.
if any type of fish I make, any type of vegetable, anything like that, she's on that. She's on that. So she's she's now getting into the baking and things like that. So I think she's right now in the kitchen baking some bread. So
all right, you're winning about half an hour, bro. It's gonna be warm and ready for you.
I'm timing it, perfect timing. Yeah, man. So Osa, have you written any books yourself? Have you published any books?
I do write, but because like a lot of the time we spend publishing, like I'm always writing, ghost writing for other people trying to get their ideas.
Okay.
Board. Shay Benton has a book called Compressed Concepts. It's gonna be very deep. Like the brother's connecting poetry with prose, with rap. Like he's trying to bring a different style and genius to writing and stuff like that. So I mean, like I'm more behind the scenes on the writing tip. I'm more like, you know what? You're missing a period. Oh, add a comma there. You know what I'm saying? But
okay,
I mean, like,
yeah.
I have ideas, but I like to see other people shine. That's kind of my vibe, you know?
So if somebody had an idea for a book or like had a general layout, they would come to you and then you would kind of help them formulate that into a proper book format, storyline type of. I guess along that route, you're probably inputting some of your input and ideas along the way anyway. So it's kind of like.
I like to share, you know what I'm saying? My wife was like, stop getting other people them project, make them figure it out. Mind their business, you know what I'm saying? But it's sometimes like someone so close to genius. Like my background is teaching, so I love brilliant ideas and thought, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, you're so close to the cusp of really inspiring a whole generation. Like there's nothing more powerful than the time an idea comes, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, it's critical that, again, like I kind of shape it a little bit, but it's up to the client. If the client's like, I'm not doing that, I'm not a man to push, I just make them aware of it. You know what I'm saying?
So you said your background was teaching. You were a teacher?
Yeah, I taught for over 6 years in the school board and stuff like that. You know, we also did on private school, Afrocentric private school as well.
All right, so then let me ask you this, because we our first episode we brought up the topic, what are the effects of a lockdown? So being a teacher, from full-time student days to now, you're seeing these kids off and on school online for going from 6 hours a day to like 2 hours or here and there. What are the effects on children or our youth with the online schooling as opposed to in school?
I would look at it on 3 levels. One is parent, one is system, and one is the child. So in terms of the system is offloading a lot of responsibilities in terms of teaching. That system now saying, okay, it's up to the parent to really prepare a child for school and at the same time do the school work with them. So again, like the only way we would know like really where they're at is check some of the reading skills of the children that are coming out of kindergarten and grade 1 right now. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell which parents are forced to work with their children and which ones have the skills and which ones don't. You know what I'm saying? I think on a self level, every child is brilliant, in my opinion. Every child is brilliant. And they're going to show you what their incarnation is and what they want to work with. But at the end of the day, we have a job to do as parents, which is prepare them for the world. You know what I'm saying? So the challenge on the system level is they're too comfortable with the screen. They're not close enough to creativity. You know what I'm saying? I see some people like, they just sit and look at the screen. That's a passive watching stance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's not activated as it could have been. Now, in terms of receiving information, it's good at the receiving information in a new kind of way, but we're human beings. We're social beings, you know what I'm saying? So naturally, that's how we get our first understanding of language and everything around us. It's from those receptors and those even intuitive connections with other people.
And body language, eye movement,
all of that is a part of our experience. Not just did you just say what you said, repeat it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like that is the second component of it. The third part about it is they're so brilliant that they're going to give us a new way of learning that we're not even ready to embrace. And we got to be open to teach on that level. You know what I'm saying? I think that's really where things are getting, whether it's on a spiritual, intuitive level or just on a practical activation level. Like the system is what it is, 2 hours of learning. I have a lot of versions that I'm like, this is some basic things. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, it's what the children need to know in order for the parent to realize like, hey, I got to step it up. You know what I'm saying? I can't allow my child to be caught up on their basic vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, it really comes down to every child is great and they deserve a bright future. So how, again, like I went back to the financial literacy piece, how can we challenge our children to develop a value-driven life where they're like, you know what, I'm going to develop a business, or I'm going to develop some level of ingenuitive idea that's going to take me further, you know? But it does have its impact, but it's part of their plan, you know? So, I mean, like, as long as the children don't fall in love with the screen and that robotic mindset, and they're able to maintain their humanity and their mental, that energy, they should be fine, you know?
All right. Now you have there's I'm gonna go back into the creative aspect, right? There's some people out there that may want to get into artistry, may want to get into creative arts, visual arts of some sort, but their biggest hurdle they might be saying to themselves is, I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for those people, whether they're young or old?
Every artist is gonna say that, and again, it goes back to our first book. You got to believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, everybody's going to tell you what you're doing, you can't do, you shouldn't do, you won't do. Like, even in the relationships that you get into, even things that you, on your own personal quest in life, people are like, don't do that, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's up to you to realize, like, hey, like, I'm great. It's not an easy journey. What was one recommendation was, whatever genre you're in, do 25 of that on a very high level. So if you're drawing, do 25 exceptional drawings and don't allow yourself to stop until you get to that 25. If you're writing, write 25 pieces. If you're making a song, write 25 songs. And then you can know from those nuances where you are at as a creator. You know what I'm saying? Now, my vision as a creator is that you're inspiring, you're empowering, you're engaging, you're focusing on resilience. But I mean, like, if that's not your message or cup of tea, that's cool as well. Sometimes as an artist, you're just reflecting back what life is showing you. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Maybe it's pure drawing with people, pure mask on their face. I don't know. But I mean, like, at the end of the day, as a creator, people are going to tell you to stop. They're going to tell you you're wasting time. You're making mess in their life or space. But if you know at the end of the day, your art has a greater purpose, I say create.
And what I think is an important takeaway from what you said as well is that some people create for the opinion and for the massive and for other people, but there are those people that create for the personal release, right? So those are the people that, you know, you definitely we want to continue to keep them to push creating, because they may not want to sit down and scribble on a piece of paper because they think that, oh, somebody's going to see this and think that it's ugly. So they're going to hold in all their bent up anger inside and not release it through, you know, that creative energy. So, you know, we definitely got to make sure that we're not holding back our creative energy, you know, if that's your peaceful release, if your peaceful release is singing in the shower, if it's drawing on crayons, if it's sewing, if it's writing, you know, use that creative energy to get yourself going.
And that's it. And again, do 25. Do 25.
And do 25 of them to make sure.
25 push-ups, 25 drawings.
So Osa, at what point did you realize, all right, well, you know what? My creative stuff that I'm doing for myself, I'm now at the point where I'm going to put this out to the people. Was it somebody that told you? Was there a moment? Did somebody say how much that was? Or was it, you know, was there a moment where you said, all right, my creative energy, I need to put this out to the masses?
I'm a kind of person, I just look at stuff and I'm like, this can be a game changer. I like to look at, there's a concept called the fulcrum of change. You know what I'm saying? I'm like always looking at, is this a game changer? Is this really going to make things better? You know what I'm saying? And again, like with the B-Leaf, when we first started that almost 6 years ago, it was like, something's missing in the school system. The children don't believe in themselves. Sometimes the teachers don't even believe in themselves. You know what I'm saying? Can we create a work to help people to remember who they are and what they're capable of achieving? That's the journey. You know what I'm saying? And again, like once we've seen it, we're like, this makes sense. Our second book, Mommy and Daddy Said, we're like, enough children are not listening to their parents. You understand? Mommy and Daddy Said. You know what I'm saying?
It's real life. It's real life. They can, like you said, they can relate.
Little jokes are on our table, but at the end of the day, we're like, yo, let's publish this and make sure that we're flying on this. You know, like we have some new titles coming out. Yanni and Kara, we have a book called Steel Drum, like representing, because Kara Battle, people want to jump up and fet. I'm like, yo, let's get it in a book for the children. You know what I'm saying? You get like a steel drum vibe going. There are books about Kwanzaa, books about Christmas, books around just recognizing our greatness and our epoch as a people, you know.
And again, the good thing, you're putting pen to paper, and you're creating a new history. So because there's a gap. So the books me and you grew up and in school watching, we know that they haven't been pushing that for the past 10, 15 years to these youths. But it's people like you that we need, that are creating new content for the new generation in these times. Because somebody may not want to pick up a Nancy book that we're going to tell them about, because they're going to be like, I don't want to read about this ant. You know what I mean? Yeah. But seeing something like the book that you said about the world and God sees everything, it's relatable, it's new. People are going to see, the kids are going to see characters in clothes that look like them, you know, up to date. So again, you're creating new content. So this is a new history that they're going to have to try to erase. But we're not going to let them.
Not going to let them, because at the end of the day, literacy is legacy. I got to came from the program. I got to children understand literacy is legacy. And the most important thing is a guy I'm studying right now, Kandele Umkele, he's from Sierra Leone. He says, what is his line? Sorry, let me pull it up quick. 1 second. Sorry. 1 second. Yeah, man. His line is, those with ideas are not leading, and those without ideas will lead you. You understand? So, I mean, like, everybody has ideas.
Hold on. Let me hear that again. I got to take that one in.
The brother said, those with ideas are not leading, and those without ideas will lead you. So yeah, so look at work and all the different things. There's some idiot people out there trying to be like, I'm your boss, I'm your manager. You know what I'm saying?
It's so true. Even think about like what's going on in the world right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we're not being led by the right people, you know?
Yeah. So again, it's us to realize our leadership and our leaderfulness, and basically step to that with our ideas, organize collectively, and elevate it. You know what I'm saying?
Literacy is legacy. I like that line that you said. I should have made that the title of today's show. I love that.
Nah, man, I like the inspiration thing, man.
So also let the people know where they could contact you. Let them know what you have coming up next. Let them know. I'll give you the floor again.
Book launch July 22nd, August 5th, August 19th, September 2nd, September 16th. Book off 6 o'clock. I told someone about this show.
Where can they watch it? We're
gonna send out the link, man. We're gonna go to creativeinterlude.ca, www.creativeinterlude.ca. Go to our events page. It'll be live there. The links will allow you to connect. Facebook, we're gonna be live on that as well. Want to connect with me personally? Phone number is open from 8 to 8. 416-724-1328. Hit us up on the email, info@creativeinterlude.ca. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, creative interlude. Hashtag, all that fun stuff. You know, so again, we give thanks to you, brother. Jawix, Vupoint, big up every time.
Big up yourself, Osa. Thanks for coming on, people. Again, this is Osa Jeffo, Creative Interlude. Check him out. Check out the book launch. And again, brother, thanks for joining us, and thanks for always keeping me in the loop as to what you have going on.
Every time. I'm honored. Respect every time.
Yes, I. Yeah. People, we were just speaking with Osa Jeffo from Creative Interlude and also from Malcolm's Choice. We had a great conversation talking about the creative arts, talking about inspiration through creative arts, talking about, you know, just the progression of life and how things are going. People, we're gonna put the links to the book launch in the comments, because we want you guys to stay posted, and we want you guys to be aware of what's going on in Toronto and how we're pushing local talent. And like he said, literacy is legacy. So these are new books that are not available as yet. These are going to be on the road, launching the day of the shows. So stay posted to creativeinterlude.ca. He's going to be sending out the links. And you know what? Maybe before the show, we'll have Osa back on again, just to give a little update as to when those dates are. People, this is the Vupointz Meeting of the Minds. My name is Ja Wiggs. People, we will be back next week. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to shout out Kaya Publishing. Again, look out for the Toronto Urban Book Expo. People, we got lots to talk about next week. It's Vupointz Meeting of the Minds. Oh, by the way, people. By the way, August 8th, we're at Sunset Beach. Look out for the ad. Look out for the ad. It's the Vupointz. Let's go.